Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to Penang Science Cluster Sim Trivia session. Hi, my name is Nurul Hamimah, and this week I'll be conducting for the fourth week of the Sim Trivia session with the title of Color Theory. Okay, so welcome back for those who already joined for the past three sessions that we had before. Okay, so for today, okay, since we already been in the fourth week of the STEAM trivia, we've gone through the science part, the technology part, the engineering part, and so for this week, we are going to learn about the A parts of the STEAM trivia, the arts. Okay, so for today's topic, we are going to show you about the color theory. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so for color theory, what does it mean by color theory? So basically, color theory is the body guidance for us to use to see a certain combinations of color or for us to identify colors on a certain object. Okay. Okay, so first of all, what does it mean by colors? Okay, so colors actually how we humans see a certain object. So that as per se that if you see a certain object that you see with your own eyes, the first thing that you tell would be the color of it, the color of an object. So it's basically a very important features that we use every day in our daily life. Okay, so basically colors have a different consideration taken into, and today we will talk about the three main important part of colors. Okay, so first, the how humans see colors. Okay, so basically humans identify a certain object, as I told you before. The first thing to see is the color. Okay, for examples, if I ask you what is the color of the sky, of today's sky, so most of the answers that will be given by will be the blue color, because we see we look at the sky and we see it and we name it the color as a blue. And another thing, if I ask you, do you know what is the color of the grass? So most of you will answer green, because that's the first thing that we can tell, the first subject that we can see from a grass. Okay, so that is part of how humans see colors. Okay, the second consideration is regarding the cultural association. Okay, so basically color it's very play an important roles in our culture. Okay, so let's say the very most common one, you see how we associate color with a certain gender. Per se, blue color, we will all say, oh, blue is for boys, and for the pink color is for girls. So this is one way of how color is actually used as a cultural association. And the third consideration of color is the color psychology. Okay, so how certain color actually help us decide a certain, help us decide a certain decision in our brain. Okay, so I'm gonna give you like a very simple example of color psychology. Okay, let's say you are on a very on the during the weekends, you are about to go to swim in the swimming pool. Okay, once you arrive at the place, you see there's actually two swimming pool on that side, and one of the swimming pool is in the water of the color of the water is in blue, and the other swimming pool, the color of the water is red. Okay, so this is how color psychology works. Okay, so for you, the person who actually went there and see both swimming pool at the same time, which one would you rather to go in and swim in? Will it be the blue color water or the red color water? Okay, so mostly people would definitely go for the blue color water, because this is how we see, or blue color is relaxing, cooling color. So it's rather better to go for the blue color, because for the red color swimming pool, the red color water, people usually tend to be like, oh, did something terrible happen in the water? So the red color of the water actually give you like some sort of warning, or like a very alarming feelings to you. So most people will avoid the red color and go into the blue color water pool instead. So this is how color psychology works. So plays with your brain and makes you decide on certain decision based on the color itself. Okay, so did you know that people also decided whether they like a product within 90 seconds or less? So most of the decision, I would say 60 to 90% of that decision is based solely on color. Okay, so for example, as you are walking to a hypermarket, and for that day you are looking for, let's say, a box of a Coca-Cola drinks. Okay, so you walk in the aisle, so the first thing that we look up will be the color red, right? Okay, so that's how you find your Coca-Cola drink without searching through the aisles one by one. So that's how color works in our brain. Okay, so next. Okay, so color theory. So some brief history about it. Okay, did you know that? Okay, I believe that some of you have attended the last week's session. So you have known a very important figures in the motion regarding the Newton's during the engineering session last week. Okay, so the same. Do you actually know that this very same person who actually discovered the Newton's law actually is the same person who discovered the color wheels itself? So the color wheels itself is like I would say in schools. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is what we call as the color wheels. So you see this particular round shape, circles of colors inside it. This is what we call as color wheels. I'm sure a lot of you have learned about this a lot in schools. Okay, so basically color theories is divided into three parts. One is the color wheel itself in the middle of it. The second one is the color harmony and how we see the relationship between the colors. And the third one is the color model. Okay, so I'm going to go through we're going to go through one by one parts of the color theory. Okay, first of all, the main part of color theory is the color wheels. Okay, so color wheels is actually a combination of a 12 basic, so 12 colors, so 12 basic colors that we put around in circles, and we use it as a basic to decide on the graphic things or visual effect on the certain things. Okay, so basically, color wheels are made up of primary colors. If you can see the triangle in the middle, we have yellow, we have blue, and we have red color. So this made up the primary colors, and we also have green, orange, and purple as the secondary colors. Okay, so basically, primary colors is the colors that you cannot combine any other color to make this certain color. So basically, like for example, yellow. Okay, there's no way to add up one color to another color to get yellow. So yellow actually come and in its original form. So that's blue and also red. And also for the secondary colors, it's actually a combination of two primary colors itself. So for example, green. Okay, so you can see green is actually a combination when you add a blue color to a yellow color. So that's how you get a green color instead. So like tertiary color, just follow up, you add three colors and you can actually get a combination from that three colors and you find another color. So this is what we call as the tertiary colors. Okay, the second part is about the color harmony. Okay, so basically color harmony is very important because we want to know how certain color works and what's the relationship between these colors. Okay, so the most common one we see on the image, we have analogous, complementary, triadic, split complementary, and the other four colors I will explain later. Okay, so we go through the first one, the analogous color. So analogous basically mean based on the color wheel itself, these at least two colors are sitting next to each other. At least two. So you can add 3, 4 or more than that. Okay, so analogous means the color are sitting next to each other in the color wheels. Okay, so for example, you can see purple sitting next to a blue color. So that's what we call as analogous color. Okay, the second one is complementary colors. Okay, so complementary basically means contrast or opposite of each other. So based on the color wheels, you can see one of the example of a complementary colors would be orange and blue. Okay, so an easy way to find a complementary colors is just to draw a straight line uh, on top of the color wheel. So basically a straight line where it ends and where it begins will be your two complementary colors. So that's how you get the colors itself. Next one will be the triadic colors. Okay, so triadic, tri mean three. So basically we'll be using three colors. Okay, so in the color wheels, the triadic color actually are how to say, it's evenly spaced out between each other. Okay, and the easiest way to find the triadic colors in the color wheels is to make a triangle shape and on the top of the color wheels, and every corner of the triangle is your triadic colors. So if you see the triangle in the middle, we have yellow, blue and red. So that's one of the example of a triadic color. Okay, so one interesting fact about triadic colors, you will see that every time you did a triangle, you actually found that every of the color is actually from the same class of colors. Okay, for example, I told you blue, yellow and red. So it's actually made out of primary colors. If you do another triangle, you might get say purple, green and orange. So they're actually made of the secondary color. So triadic colors usually run between the same level of colors. Okay, now we go to a bit complicated. So split complementary colors. Okay, so split mean it's a split plus complementary colors. So as I said before, complementary colors is an opposite color on the color wheels when you do a straight line. Okay, so but you have to add another color. So I would say it's combination of the analogous and complementary at the same time. So basically, to make up a split complementary colors, you have to pick two colors that are sitting next to each other on the color wheels and add another color that are opposite on each one, either one of the colors that you choose. So you can see based on the color wheels, let's say I choose red and orange, both are sitting next to each other. So my complementary colors will be green, a light green. Okay, so these three made up the split complementary colors. Okay, so we're going to the color, we are going slowly into the color harmony next. Okay, so these are two very commonly known colors that we use every day in our life. Okay, so this is called warm colors and cool colors. Okay, so warm colors basically colors that give you a vibe of definitely warmness. So something like a feeling of bright feelings, something that exciting. So those colors are made up usually. The most common one would be red, orange and yellow. And on contrary, we have the cool colors, which give up the vibes of relaxing, like a cooling feeling. So those colors are made up usually with the green, blue, light blue, and also purple. So this is very important things that okay, warm colors usually we associate it for example the day itself. So we have sun, so it's warm, so usually bright in color of yellow or orange, while the cool colors we can associate it with the night time. So it's dark, it's chilling, it's cooling and also it's relaxing. And the other two part of the color harmony is the grayscales and also monochromatic. So basically grayscale is the colors that runs from black to gray and until white. So you might hear this term quite a lot when you are printing. Okay, let's say you have a color page and you want to print it in the black and white form. So the grayscale is what you use to change, to transit to convert your page, the color page of yours, to a black and white color printing. So the grayscales is what we use. And for another one is the monochromatic one. So monochromatic basically is a certain colors and you actually add another color. Usually we use it white as a theme or black color as a shade. So monochromatic, let's say for example, a blue color. Okay, so to do a monochromatic blues, when you add a black color, so it becomes darker, If you add a white color, then it become a lighter, so light blue. So that's how monochromatic works. And the last part of the color theory is how we use it in our daily application. Okay, so there's two ways of using colors. One is RGB. We call it as it's actually a name of the color. So RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And the other one is CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and the last one is key, or we call it as the black color. It's the key color, but it's actually black. Okay, so these two are very commonly used color models in our life. Okay, so you see RGB are widely used in the digital form of it. Okay, so if you see things on your computers, on your phones, on your tabs, so those color models actually use RGB as the basic one. Okay, so if you see RGB, by the time you add more colors, okay, it become more white and white. Okay, so and for CMYK, in the other hand, it's mostly used for printing. Okay, so CMYK are mostly used for printing. Okay, so if you see there's a printer in your house, you'll see the color model that they use is actually CMYK, not RGB, because CMYK is actually the more you add more colors, the blacker the ink will get. Okay, so easy way to find out about this. Okay, imagine yourself are doing a visual graphics that you are deciding, let's say on a Photoshop. Okay, so you see you have already decided your colors. Let's say you are drawing a sky and also the grass. So you have your blue color and you have your green color. But then, by the time you are printing, you find out that the color on the paper doesn't actually match with the color that you use in your screen. So it's differ a bit in the color saturation. So this is how they use the RGB and the CMYK. So basically RGB is only intended for the digital display. So if you want to print the color and you want it to be the same one, the one that you use in your screen, you have to convert the RGB to the CMYK model first before you start printing. Okay, so this is very common color models that we use in our daily life. Okay, so I've been talking a lot of color theories on and on and on. So do you actually understand that why is it important to learn color theory itself? Okay, so you might think, oh, color meanings. I don't want to be an artist. I don't want to draw. I don't want to be a painter. Okay, so but then color theory actually varies more than that. So some of the very known application of color theories are architecture. So you see like a certain buildings have a certain colors. Okay, so they actually give out a vibes to us, like a certain feelings on it. Like you see like a gray color or not so intimidating. Okay, so the next application will be brand marketing. So this play a very important roles of the color theory. Okay, so for examples, okay, if I ask you what brand can you think of when I give you a red color and also yellow? So these two color, what did actually makes up what or which brand? Okay, so I would say 90% of you will think of McDonald's. Okay, so this is how color theory play an important role in marketing a certain product. So every time you see red and yellow, it should be McDonald's. So that's how you get, that's how they get the marketers strategy to get more consumer to understand and buy their product. So color theory also play important roles in this. The third one will be the most common one if you see in the fashion industry. Okay, so the color theory is widely used in the fashion industry. So if you see during the winter time, if the fashion goes by season, you can see like a certain season like winter or autumn, we have a slightly different slightly different color approach that used by the fashion designer. So if you see during the winter time, they have like a more calming, relaxing, like I would say I would think white color. So if like and during the fall time, the fall season, they will approach with more like a bright color, like a yellow or orange that assemble the leaves falling on the tree. Okay, so color theory also works in the graphic design. So it's a very important features if you are doing graphic design. So having a knowledge in color theory plays an important part if if you are going to go for certain careers that involve the industry that I have been explaining to you. Okay, so for today, I'm going to explain at least one application of using color theory. Okay, so one is it would be a web design. Okay, so before we go, what is actually a web design? So web design is basically what uh, a process that create the overall look of a website. So it's the process of planning, buildings, and creating all the elements that you have onto your website. So one of the main important elements are colors, because people, when the first time they go to a website, the first thing they'll see is the colors. Okay. So, as I say, web design. So, making a website. So, why does color theory is very important in making a website? So, you might think, oh, I don't actually want to make a website. But do you actually know? If any of you are doing blog online, so blog also is a type of website. And I'm sure you have selected your wallpapers, you have selected a certain icon to be used in your blog. So that's what makes the color theory important during this process of making blog, or also known as a website. So let's say if you go to a certain website, so it's very hard for you to find the search bar. So if you can see, for the example, we can actually see the search bar. So it's very minimalist website here, but then I would say it's very hard for me to find the search bar because the color was actually the same with the background color. So if you see, color play an important role. So making a website means that you are trying to help people go through your website in an easier way, in a faster way, without having going through let's say a tutorial session before making way to your website. So if you say if you're going to put on a search bar, so you have to use like I would say, for example, a contrary colors that will actually make the search bar more more visible to the users of your website. Okay, so talking about website, so who actually make this thing? Okay, so you must be curious. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so making a website is actually one of the job field of an user interface designer. Okay, so basically, what is user interface? So user interface is the is how you interact with a website. Okay, like let's say you open a website and like you see where's the search bar, where's the next button, where's the contact button if you're looking for it. So this is part of the user interface. Okay, so the name of the people behind this, it's very similar, it's user interface designer. So UI designer is the people who decide how an application is going to look like. So they have to decide everything from the buttons, the icon, the images of what they use, which font to use for the text. So they create the look and also the feel of an application that will be used for another user. Okay, so one simple way of understanding what a UI designer do. Okay, let's say you are you are going to book a hotel through an online website. So, but then you are going through it, then you see one particular hotel that you feel like I might want to see more on this. So you click on it. Okay, then when you are in the page, suddenly there's an image pop up, and you see there's under the image there's caption under one per file. So without having like I say, like a tutorial, without having like knowing what to do, you actually will just voluntarily will scroll through because you know there's more image to see. because it's 1/5, right? So you see, oh, there will be 5 images. So what I need to do is just to scroll around and see the next 4 images that are available. So this is the job of UI designer. So without telling you what to do in the website, you can actually go through by yourself in an easier way and a better way. So that's how user interface designer work. Okay, so that's all about the today's applications and about the UI designers, color theories, and also creating website. Okay, so we are going next to the Kahoot session for today. Okay, so okay, I want you, as I told you before, you have to use two screens. One is for you to view the screens that I'll be providing today, and the other one will be for you to log in and play the Kahoot quiz today. Okay, so we'll give you around 5 minutes to get into the Kahoot quizzes. And if you can see the Kahoot pin down there, it's written down there 9774176. Okay, so we wait for a few to come in. So for the time being, if you have any question for us, you can just hit the chat button and just ask any question. If I could possibly answer it within the live streaming, I will do so. Okay, so that's it. Okay. Okay, so once you get, when you put on the game pin and click enter, so you'll be going to the front, the main page of the Kahoot session. Okay, so you will have to decide your name, and because the name is actually not chosen, so it's not actually written, so they will actually auto-generate names for you during the quizzes. Okay, so So we just wait for a few more minutes for people to come into the Kahoot session. So for the time being, if you are interested to learn more about this week topic or the other topics from the 3 last session, you can just go to our Google Classroom. So the link is actually provided in our Facebook Penang Science Cluster. Okay, so if you want to go through some materials, some of assignments that we provided, so you might go ahead to our Google Classroom. For another minute. Okay, so we are going to start our Kahoot quiz. Okay, so please ready. Okay, so we are going to the first question. Okay, so let's start with the quiz. Okay, first question, which of the following is not a primary color? Okay, will it be red, blue, yellow or green? So which one of these are not part of the primary color? Primary colors are made up of 3 colors, so meaning that we have 4 colors, so there's one imposter among us. Oh, okay, so everyone get it correct. Okay, so basically the primary colors are made up of red, blue and yellow, so not green color. So green color is actually a secondary colors, so it's combination of a yellow and blue color. Okay, so next question. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, next question. Question number 2. Who are the person who invented the first color wheel? So as I told before, there's a very one important figures that actually unintentionally discover the first color wheels that we still use up until today. 20-second left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I see there's a few wrong answer. Okay, as I told you before, the same person who actually discovered the Newton's law of motion is actually the first person who invented the first color wheel ever. So it would be our very own Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, so okay. Let's see who's on top of the scoreboard. Okay, we are going to the third question. Okay, CMYK color models are usually found in. So basically, CMYKs are cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, as in black color. Okay, so where are these usually found in? Would be the electronic displays, printing ink, lightings, or painting. 30-second left on the clock. if you get this right. Ah, okay, so everybody got it right. Okay, so CMYK. Okay, so let's see who's on top of the scoreboard. Okay, Kitty and also Captain Ducks are pretty similar in the scoreboard. Okay, so based on just now that I say you, so RGB are usually used in digital display, and as for CMYKs, they are widely used for the printer ink. So if you go through your printer, you can see these are the colors used to print whatever you want on your paper. Okay, so we're going to the fourth questions. Okay, true or false? Okay, the two main elements of a web designs are usual elements and also functionality elements. So, is this true or is it false? Okay, sixth answer. Okay, 30 seconds left on the clock. Some easy questions. 50 seconds. Oh, okay. Oh, there's one false answer. Okay, it's okay. Let's see who get it right. Oh, I see Captain Duck is making its way to the top. Okay, some bit introductions on some bits information. Okay, so the important elements on a web design are these two, the visual elements and also functionality element. So today's topic, colors, falls under the visual element categories. So similar things like shapes, images, icons are what we call it as a visual, and also the navigation, speed, the animation, basically how the thing move in a website is what we call it as the function element. So it's the functionality of a certain website. Okay, so next question. Okay, this should be an easy one. So which of the following is actually categorized under a functionality element? So I just told you before what is it a functionality elements in creating a website. So there's two elements, visual and also functionality. So which one of these falls under the functionality elements? Okay, 50 seconds left on the clock. I just told you in previous slide, so you better get it right. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, I see. Only 5 get it right. Okay, so as I told you before, under the functionality elements, it's actually how you move around the website. So basically, moving means you trying to navigate through it. So navigation is the one we are looking for. It's under functionality, while the rest, layout, colors, and also spacings are categorized under visual because you see it through your eyes. So this is why it's under the visual element, not the functionality elements. Okay, so next question. Okay, let's see who's on the top. Oh, okay, I see Captain Duck is still keeping his way up in the scoreboard. Okay, next question. Design approach are used to create content that adjusts smoothly to various screen sizes. So which type of design is this? So there is two. One is responsive design and another one is adaptive design. So which one is actually justify the statement of the question? Or the responsive or adaptive? 30 seconds left on the clock. another answer. Only 1 out of 2. Okay, let's see. Get it right. Okay, so only 2 answer responsive design. Okay, so the correct answer is responsive design, not adaptive design. Okay, let's see. Oh, why? It's moving its way to the top. Okay, so some basic infos on responsive versus adaptive. Okay, so these are the main two design that are widely used in making a website. So mostly the common one will be responsive, because responsive means a single design that can reflow all across all displays. So basically you are doing only one template, and if you are going to open the website in various screen or devices, so it will adjust itself to fit your screen size. Whereas adaptive means you are creating multiple templates, so let's say for desktop, for a tab, or for phone. So these have their own templates and is unique for each device's type. So what we're looking for is one template, so the answer should be a responsive one. Okay, so it's okay. Let's just continue to the next question. Okay, so it's multi-select questions. Which of the following are a common type of user interface? Okay, so you can select more than one. What are the common types of user interface? So you can select which one that you have heard before. Some are very commonly used. See, some people are still thinking. Only got 2 answers. 20 seconds left on the clock. Okay, so there's a lot of answers here. Okay, so the 3 common type of user interface are voice control interface (VUI), a gesture-based interface, and a graphical user interface. Okay, so if you see the tactile user interface, it is a type of user interface also, but it's not commonly used. So tactile means touch user interface, and it's actually used for blind people to navigate themselves through digital displays. So it's not a very common one. So the other 3 are what we use to make a user interface. So I'm just gonna go. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have a change in our scoreboard. Okay, so some insights on the type of user interface. So basically, graphicals is how the user interact with a visual representations on a digital control panel. So example of graphical user interface, basically your laptop, and your phone. So if you see the icon that you use to click a Chrome tab, a Facebook tab, or an Instagram icon, so this is graphical user interface. Okay, for voice control user interface, it's actually how we control or interact with things using our voices. So the famously known voice control interface would be like in iPhone, we have Siri, or in Android, we have the Google Assistant. So this is type of the voice control interface. And the last one will be the gesture-based interface. So basically, user engage with a 3D design concept through a body motion. So a very known example of gesture-based interface will be a VR, virtual realities, where you move along with the to play the games using the VR headset. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, we'll just move on to the next question. It's also a multi-select question. So a graphical layout of an application includes 1. Text, 2. Image, 3. Music, and 4. Button. So you can also select more than one here. So the keyword here is graphical layout, so graphics. So which one of these are graphic type? Okay, 20-second left on the clock. See who get it right. Okay. I see this. Okay, so slightly smaller of the players actually select the tree. So basically, yes, the tree. The third one, music, is not a type of a graphical layout. So basically, you see we have text, image, and button. We use it using we see it with our own eyes. So it's a graphic, so in a visual form. So for music, we use a medium of sound, whereas we use our ears to hear. So music is not a graphical layout. Okay, so next question. Oh, let's see in the scoreboard. Oh, eyes are moving upwards. Okay, there's a lot of changing our scoreboard today. Okay, so next question. Also multi-select. Okay, so UI designer specialized in. It's a multi-select question, so you can select everything that you feel a UI designers are specialized in. Okay, we have 3 answers. 30-second left on the clock. Second. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the correct answer is each one of the answers. So every answer is correct. Okay, so wait, let's see the scoreboard first. Oh, I see the ice is not moving, it's still on top. Okay, some insights on the question. Okay, so basically, if you think the UI designers, right, so you feel like, oh, they are only making desktop, mobile apps, and also and also web apps. So basically, those are really the main part of a UI designer, but they are also partially involved in making the UI, the user interface of a games. So they won't play a major role, but they are some of the people are needed in making a game also. So if you see like a color of the game, like most of the game use a bright color. So this is what the UI designer are used for in making games. So games are also part of the role, some part of the roles of a UI designer. Okay, so last question. Which of these are the roles of an user interface UI designer? So you might think, it's a user interface designer. Do they only design? Or is there any scope, job scope that they also can do? Would it be collaborating, designing, prototyping, or all of the above? Second left on the clock. Okay, so we have 7 answered, all of the above. Okay, so it is true, the roles of a user interface designer doesn't not only involve designing, they also have to take parts in collaborating in case they are, for example, you are working for a company, so you might be collaborating with certain client that want a certain website, they want to create a certain website, and designing, of course, are a designer, so you have to take part in designing, and also prototyping, so you're actually creating a model before you actually have the actual product. Okay, so these are the three main roles of the user interface UI designer. So the correct answer is all of the above. Okay, so the next question. Okay, let's see the scoreboard. Oh, with a 10,000 mark, ice is on the top. Okay. Okay, so the next question is no need to answer. This will be a verification questions that we will take, try to take note on the winners for today's quizzes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so type what is your favorite fruit. So just type out any answers. It's just matter of a verification. Okay, I see everyone already submitted. Yay! Just woke up. Who is that? Okay, so that's the end of our quiz today for the fourth week of the stream trivia on the topic of color theory. Okay, so let's see who wins. Okay, so thank you all for your support today, for joining me for this fourth week of the color theory sessions. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, let's see who are on the top. Oh, why? And the winners of today is Ice. Congratulations. Okay, so the winners, we will contact you for the prizes after the session ends. Okay, so let's end up to this topic. Okay, let me just. So let me just go through. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for joining today's session. Okay, so very thankful to our main sponsor for helping us create the stream trivia session, especially to our American Tax Corner Penang and also the US Embassy for helping us creating this session to for the students out there. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Okay, so don't forget, next week we have the last session of the stream trivia. Okay, so on the topic of mathematics with the titles of Pythagoras theorem. So make sure you tune in with our last session and and get the prizes that we actually gave up for if you join our session for the past 5 weeks, including next week. Okay, so I see you won't be seeing me anyway. Okay, so that's all from me. Bye bye everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you to Wan Fazwani and Iman Shah. Thanks for joining me today.